Be patient with that throttle, that'd be very patient. Boom!
Let's get ready to cheer the stream round.
Leon's throwing you off, isn't he? Yeah. The thing is now, you now learnt the lines and you learnt the gears. You need to start being a little bit braver here and there, and just, you seem to have a habit of being a bit too eager on the throttle. Especially in that first sector again. First sector, the hairpin, and I think another corner, I don't know where. Yeah, so this hairpin here, the first time you can really attack downshifts. You can attack downshifts here. That's it. Get it turned in. Nice smooth. Second. Not first. Yeah. Huh. What a move. You silly bitch. Just so, when you, obviously you've got that left that seems to just keep going and going and going. You stay in first, and then just as you exit in the Mercedes arena, you want to short shift as you get to the curb. The inside curb, do you get what I mean? I'll tell you when to change gear next time, before I start commentating. I should probably start the stream as well.
Why has he not gone fucking fast yet? Race day settings.
That corner you really want to be in third. Yeah, I know it's weird. It is weird, but it is faster. Don't need to go to sixth here. You can pretty much redline it all the way up the hill to fifth, and it'll be fine. Okay. Got some lovely clean air. Now. You want to stay first all the way through here. Now. Do you get what I mean now? Stay third, stay third, stay third, stay third. There is where you're losing a lot of time as well. You do things backwards. You go second, and then the next corner you're third when you want to be the other way around. No, the first one, as you turn left, you want to stay third, and then as you come down to the right-hander, the one where you seem to be catching the curb out a little bit on the exit, you want to be in second in that one. That time, yes. Beforehand, you were doing it the opposite way around. Stay third.
Dean.
And you turn in a bit too early. That's why it feels unnatural. So if you turn in later there, it will feel a bit better. I gotta go. Good luck, all.
Mike's saying that's right, Dan, for the green track.
What?
Mike's saying that's right for a green track, apparently, on Discord.
Why
I don't remember seeing green for ages. Thought we got rid of that. Oh well.
Whatever.
Yeah. I've had to make tweaks to do with my ballast, but yeah, it's just your pressures you need.
What am I doing? Right.
So if you did that with that, it's fine. You want them a bit lower than 27.6 at the minute? See you later, Dan, because they'll warm up in the...
Boogity. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. We are live, we are back, ready for another night's worth of action here at the Nürburgring for the next round of the championship. And what a start to the night we have ahead of us. Obviously, it looks a little bit dark right now, but we will get things back into the early mornings. It is not a night race, it is an early morning race here at the Nürburgring. My name is Dan Davis, and joining me, guys, here at the Nürburgring, and what an iconic circuit that this is. But the Proams, what can they do around this fantastic circuit tonight? That is the question. Good evening, everybody, and if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified if you don't want to miss a single thing here at Simplay Motorsport. But we've currently got the guys out on track at the minute, and get your votes in on if you're ready for racing here at the ring. It's going to be a fun night's worth of racing. Next race of the season of the cross-platform championship with PS5 and Xbox. Donington Park is done. Zolder is done. Two very different and dramatic races. We started things off at Donington, which was a very wet race, and then we headed to Monza for our evening race, which turned into a complete disaster, not just for the Pro-Ams, but also for the pros as well. It was very dramatic racing. But we now come to the Nürburgring for our early morning race, and obviously, like I said, it does look like a night race at the minute, but the light will start to shine upon the ring, and we shall see how these boys get on such a very classic and high demanding circuit. As you can see, the popularity here at Simplay Motorsport is getting more and more and more, and the grid is filling up nicely. So far, we've got 26 cars joining us tonight at the Nürburgring. A very tight circuit as well for the Nürburgring, so it's going to be very interesting to see how all these guys get on around this circuit. We are meant to be having 26 in total tonight, so hopefully we should be able to have 29 according to that, so we should be able to have a few guys in with us. We got a lot of drivers out on track at the minute. We got I think Kelly's just been he's just been disconnected there, so hopefully he'll get himself back into the session. But we got quite a few new drivers here tonight. The Nürburgring, yes, that is correct, PN. But let's have a quick chat about the Nürburgring, and obviously an FIA Grade 1, and it's obviously got multiple layouts. It's got the GP layout, it's got the two layouts, and it's the combined as well of the Nordschleife, and also there's the Rallycross section as well. But obviously famously known for the Nordschleife, probably the most difficult circuit in the world, also known as the Green Hell. The circuit was opened up in 1925. The beginning of the ring, or under construction back then, and the capacity is 150,000, but I think that's a lot more when you consider the Nordschleife as well. And it's held some of the most iconic events here. Formula One, the 24 hours of the Nürburgring is one of the most famous ones. DTM come here, World Touring Car, World Rallycross, the 6 hours of Nürburgring, the GP version. But obviously, we're focused on the GT3s and the GP Loop. And right now, I'm just going to get another driver to have a look at. Let's have a look at Leon Fanny and how he's getting on. So the lap record is actually held by Max Verstappen in the RB16 2020 F1 car with a lap time of a 128.1. And that's a pretty decent lap time. The Nordschleife, I would like to see a up-to-date one. The Nordschleife, 12.9 miles long, and the lap record was a 6 minutes 25.9. So there's a fun fact for you. In a Porsche, nonetheless, a Porsche 956 Group C car. So that's the lap record around the Nordschleife. But for a GT3 car around the actual Nürburgring itself, there's a long list of information on Wikipedia about the circuit, so give me some time. It's not the Nordschleife I want. There's the modern day Nürburgring. So, as we see a big moment there from DJ Phil. Lap record is a 155.8 in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 car, and that was done in the 3 hours of Nürburgring back in 2021. So the Lamborghini looks to be the favoured car around here, but all sorts of cars could be particularly quick around here. But we've currently got still 15 minutes left of this session, and like I said, good evening to everyone. Let's see who's in the chat. PN Motorsport, we've got MC3 in the chat saying good evening. Paulo's in the chat, and we got Micro J's as well. So let's hear from you guys in the chat. Hit that heart button as well. We like to see the hearts around here at Simplay and Motorsport. But let's do the standings, shall we? So, still leading the way with the restrictor and ballast is Matthew Duffin with 211 points to his name. He has got a lead over John Goudet, who's currently, where is John? There he is on track. He's currently sitting in 12th place at the minute, currently second in the championship, 46 points exactly behind Matthew Duffin, who's leading the way. Then it is Flem Speed 1 in the Porsche currently being restricted with ballast on board, and he is currently second fastest. He's third in the championship, and Flem Speed 1 and Storsen are both running German colours this weekend due to the fact that it's their home circuit, so they're running the German flags on their cars. So Flem Speed 1 third in the championship. Then it is Nova, who got his first debut win last time out at Zolder. He's currently third on track, but he's fourth in the championship. DJ Phil having a fantastic season, currently fifth in the championship, just ahead of his teammate Kelly Davis, who I believe has got back into the server. So I thought, but Kelly Davis is currently sixth in the championship. Then it is Leon Fernie sitting seventh in the championship. Max Mulder is eighth. Ninth is Dean and Ian Gray rounding off the top 10. Micro J is sitting in 11th place with Storsen in 12th. Raiden sitting in 13th place position with Nikita sitting in 14th. John Andrews in 15th place position with Allsbrook in 16th. Evans sitting in 17th with Playman in 18th place position. 19th is the Cranky Duckhead. Winter in 20th. Dean Wasocki 21st. Tucker is 22nd. Michelle 23rd. Peterson is 24th. Finesse is in 25th. Richie 26th. Johns and a load more other new drivers here this evening about to make their debut here at Simplay Motorsport. And one we're currently watching at the minute is one of those newbies. It is Joester. I'm going to go with Joester. And in the session they come and running the Porsche. We've got quite a lot of new drivers here tonight, I believe. Let's have a look at. Well, this is an old friend. This is Ginger Bush, aka Dan Johns. He's joined us in the session. Nice to see him back in the lobby. And he's in the old Porsche, I believe. He's not in the 992. I believe he's still in the 991. So there is Ginger Bush. Nice to see him back in the lobby. Another new driver here tonight. We've got P. Craig here tonight as well, and he's partnered up with Tucker. So Tucker obviously made his debut last time out, and it's Craig who's come and joined him here at the Nürburgring. So he's now got a teammate. And then we got the guy's called himself Fat Bloke, so we'll call him Fat Bloke. So Fat Bloke is joined us. He's in 9th place position at the minute. And I believe, we got MP Pitts, who's joined us here this evening as well. And I believe that is pretty much all the newcomers. We are still waiting for a few more drivers to get into the session. But it is the Germans leading the way. Storsen from Flem Speed 1, even though he's got that ballast on board, he's still managing to find the time in the Porsche. Regarding the team's championship, it is Greasy Bandit Racing still leading the way. Jaeger Motorsport in second, Team Audio Sport Remix in third, FSO Racing in P4, Bullet Bandits in P5 with Iceni Motorsport in P6, BTC Jaeger Racing P7, Team Richie Corsa in P8, and Red Dragon Racing back of the pack in 9th place position. Obviously we've got a few new teams as well here tonight. We've obviously got the pairing of Team Merlot. We'll go with Merlot. Team Merlot has joined the grid. Also, we got Team FBR Racing, and I believe that's Fat Bloke Racing. And that is pretty much all the new teams that have joined us here tonight. The question is, though, what can Matthew Duffin do with the reverse grid ahead of him? Manufacturers looks the way of this: McLaren, BMW, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Porsche, Mercedes, Bentley, Audi, Honda, Lexus, Jaguar, Nissan and Reddy all still yet to score a point here this evening. And the reverse grid is the first thing to start off tonight, and Matt is going to have to start from the back of the pack and try and work his way to the front, and we'll see he will get on with that one. He will have his good friend Goudet with him as well, as Fury's granddad is in the chat. Joined you guys last week for my first race. It is the Colbert in a 181 Porsche on Thursday. Nice to see you in the chat, buddy. How did you find your first race here at Simplay? And I hope you enjoyed it as well. FBO in the chat. Evening all, good luck all, and let's have some fun, a great action tonight. Yes, indeed. And obviously a lot of these boys, we had all the teams and drivers had to have a quick chat to the admins and the stewards due to obviously the last couple of rounds at Zolder and at Donington Park. We've had a few excitable starts to the evening and a lot of messy racing and a bit of damage between cars, so they've all had a little bit of telling off to try and keep it cool and try and keep things under control. Let's see how most of these guys get on this evening. We've got a solid 26 cars with us tonight in the pros. We should be having neck end of 30 drivers with us on Thursday night, so that's going to be interesting for sure. But it is all about the guys tonight here in the Pro-Am. I had a quick look, 28 full confirmed drivers, and there's still 4 available for reserve, so it is going to be a very, very stacked Pro. But meanwhile, Pro-Am, the Nürburgring, what an iconic circuit we are at. It's a very tricky circuit to get right, but once you do get it right, it is probably one of the best circuits that you will ever, like, you want to feel like you're in the groove around here. I'm going to try and find a driver to take us for a lap around the circuit. I'm trying to see who's coming up towards the end of the lap. It is Dean Wasocki. We'll do a lap with Dean if he doesn't opt to go into pits or not. Sometimes this thing does not work, so we'll go with Evans. Apparently he's got major damage, apparently, so good start. So let's take a lap with Evans. He hasn't got his lights on. It would be good if he had his lights on. But as we go down the start-finish straight in the Mercedes-Benz of Evans, we head down towards turn 1. Making sure we look out for the brake marker boards just to the left of us, braking just at the 100-meter board in a nice straight line, dropping down the gears up into first gear, turning into turn 1, and then up towards second gear as they head up towards turn 2 into the Mercedes arena. Making sure you have a good run through here. Very patient corner, you need to make your time patient as you try and get on the throttle into turn 3. Try and tuck it into the inside of the circuit to then swing it open into turn 4, which gives you a slingshot out of the first sector. Very, very tricky first sector as you head now down towards turn 5. Downhill braking, drop down to third gear as you turn in, trying to meet the apex and try and get all the way over to the left hand side to open up then turn 6. Once you then get through turn 6, you then head down towards the hairpin of turn 7, just braking just before the AstroTurf to left hand side, kind of doing a V shape, let the car run wide to sling your shot out of the hairpin, and then up towards the famous Schumacher S's into 8 and 9 as there as fast you go, lift ever so slightly through 8 and 9 to give yourself a good run up towards turn 10. Braking just before the AstroTurf to the left-hand side of the 100-meter board, dropping down 2 gears towards gear 3. Try and get a good run through there, swinging it all the way over to the left, and then tuck it in to turn 11. Get a good run out there, good traction, and then a long run down towards turn 12. Not really a corner, it's just a kink, the turn 12, that leads you up towards the very tricky chicane of 13 and 14, braking between the 100-meter board and the 50 board, dropping down to third gear, slingshot the car through the chicane, and then up towards the final hairpin of turn 15. But instead, you will opt to come into the pits. It's Evans, And as he comes into the pits, it is very tricky to get the entry right, as the boards will come up just there on the right hand side and get it down towards 31 miles an hour. And that, thank you very much Evans, was a lap of the Nürburgring, even though we couldn't really see much with the lights not on, so we have to try and sort that one out. But yeah, good lap there from him. At the minute the pace though is set, it was a 56.5. Flem Speed 1 in second, with Stawson leading the way, the two teammates up the top holding the pace at the minute. Nova currently 3/10 off, with Michelle sitting in P4, and Gray sitting in 5th with 7/10 off the pace. Craig looking very good on his debut, sitting in P6, and he's only 8/10 off the pace. As he comes to the line, does he improve? No improvement. Nikita currently in 7th place, second off the pace, with Tucker in 8th, his teammate just ahead of him, with Fat Bloke sitting in 9th, and Matthew Duffin currently holding that restrictor in P10. We knew the dry was gonna really hurt him here, as we see in the chat. Carl Bull, I can't even. I'm really poor with names. I'm apologies to anyone if I get their names wrong. I'm really bad with names. But was okay. Was spun on turn 1, lap 1, but came back to 10th in the sprint. Then a nightmare with penalties and stop and goes in the main race, but still had a lot of fun. Well, I hope you have a lot better luck here at the Nürburgring this time out, and I hope you have a good fun this evening to watch the Pro-Ams on track. As you see there, Joester just currently returning back on track in his Porsche, and they all go through the chicane. I think the key to the Nürburgring is basically being patient, taking your time and allowing the car's downforce and mechanical grip to do the work. If you allow the car to do a lot of the work, you should be able to produce a decent lap time around here. But the other problem is, the biggest problem that these guys are going to have is finding overtaking opportunities. It is a great circuit to race on, but trying to find overtakes is going to be incredibly difficult. I would normally find the F1 version, the chicane, which is a lot tighter, would be a definite overtaking opportunity, but this vast section of chicanes is not quite able to stick up nose. Unless you've got a decent amount of space between you and the car, then you should be able to get the job done in the chicane, but it's very tricky. Final hairpin, possibly an overtaking opportunity, but again, you've got to nail that chicane. Who is currently out on track? They're all in, it says out on track, but they're not. As we see, Max Mulder just hitting the curb a little bit too heavy, and around he goes. There's Kelly Davis, currently 16th at the minute, as Ginger Bush returns back on track. Dan Johns comes out on track, and turn 1 is basically the best overtaking opportunity. This middle sector, if a car's a little bit squirrely or just put off ever so slightly, you might be able to find a position here or two if people make mistakes. But sector 1 really is just to kind of follow them all around and see how they go. Good luck everyone in the chat there. Down towards the left-hander here, could be an overtaking opportunity. Again, you've got to have some confidence in your car to be able to send it down there, and you've got to be quite far alongside to get the job done. And then really it's just the hairpin, as Ginger Bush comes down to it now. The hairpin and the left-hander as well, another good opportunity as well. Carball. cheers Carball. It's just yeah, my dyslexia kind of affects me. I love commentating on racing, but some of you boys' names, especially the foreign guys, if I get your names horribly wrong, I do apologize. I'm trying my best here. But yeah, I think those are the best overtaking opportunities here, and with the reverse grid, it's going to be an interesting night ahead of us. I don't know the current grid order, so I'm guessing it's reverse championship order based on again, I'm not 100% sure who is going to be starting where, but we'll put a prediction in for a race winner for the first one. But like I said, guys, if you haven't done so, smash that like button, hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here. At Simplay Motorsport, we've got some great action coming your way this week, with Nürburgring setting things off with the Pro-Ams, and then the Pros tomorrow night as well. I will go with the obvious championship contenders. If you think somebody else will win, please drop a message in the chat on who you think is going to win this one. I think actually what we'll do, as my game is trying to be slow, we'll have a couple other guys up there who's currently leading the way at the minute. We'll have Nova, Matt. Oh God, pressed the wrong button already. Bit too eager there. And let's hear from you guys in the chat. What do we think of the Nürburgring? Is it a circuit that we all like? Is it a circuit that you actually really detest and really struggle on? What is it? What part of the circuit do you like the most? What is it about this track that you hate or love is what I want to know. As we have got some great racing ahead of us tonight. Obviously, make sure you have a look in the description at our sponsors as well. Audio Sport, Design Manchester, and also Bozzy Designs as well. All fantastic sponsors, and these guys help us keep this channel running as much as we can. So if you want to be a sponsor on the channel as well, then please feel free to contact the admin team either on Discord or personally on however you know how to contact them. That was Gigi Bush currently doing a lap time around the circuit. Yeah, so if you have a look down in the description below, we have got Audio Sport, the manufacturer in Volkswagen Transporter, T4 audio solutions and styling products for your T4s, T5s, and coming soon T6s as well. Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics and laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing, and much, much more, including Simplay merch, so get on that one as well. And Bozzy Design produces all the graphics needed as you see. Logos, overlays, and much, much more. So have a look at all their websites, links, and everything. They are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. So if you search them up, please give them a like and follow. And like I said, get your chance to, if you want to sponsor the channel and help us out as much as possible to give you as much as a show as we possibly can, then feel free to contact one of us. I love the track, especially the chicane, but really struggle in the Porsche. The Porsche seems to be a good all-round car. There's not a lot of long straights for it to lose out in a straight line. So I think the Porsche is a good option. It's just all about dialing in those traction zones and really kind of capitalize on where the Porsche is at its best. But I do like the circuit as well. I like it. I'm not the biggest fan of the circuit. I do think that it could be better in places, but it's a classic circuit. It's definitely produces some great racing. As we come to the end of free practice, get your votes in on who you think is going to win race one, and keep me entertained for the night. A reminder tonight, your commentator is Dan Davis, aka Arnold for Dubs. And I'll give you all the action here tonight. The sprint race coming up ahead, only a 20-minute race with a pit window. They don't need to change tyres, they need to add fuel, they just need to come in and make the stop, and off they go. Who is going to bolt first into the pits? What strategy would you guys do? What would you think to do? Would you come in early, try and get the clean air, or would you try and push your way through the pack? That's what I want to know. Let's hear from you guys in the chat. As we see Gray coming to the end of his lap. I think he is the last one to set a lap time. Crosses the line, and that is the end of practice. They've done all they needed to do, and it is daytime, the early morning, with a bit of cloud here. And it is Dan Johns who will start on pole position. Ginger Bush leads the way from Richie, from Michelle Tucker. Dean Masaki will start 5th. Then it'll be Playman, Evans in 7th, Allsbrook 8th, 9th is Sean Andrews, 10th will be Nikita, Raiden in 11th, Stawson 12th, Micro J's 13th, Gray 14th, Dean 15th, Max Mulder in 16th, Leon Fernie will start 17th, Kelly Davis in 18th place position, DJ Phil in 19th, Nova 20th, Flemspeed 1 21st, Goudet in 22nd, Matthew Duffin all the way down in 23rd, with Fat Bloke in 24th, MB Pitts in 25th, Craig in 26th, and Joester in 27th place position. That is your reverse grid order, and best of luck to all the guys here today. From Carl Bull, he says in the chat. But get your votes in on who you think is going to win this first race. You either use the option above or put your own prediction in the chat, and I will read it out aloud for you. But what can the FSO Racing boys do? Their home circuit, running the German flags for this race. They are looking to try and capture as many points as possible tonight. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss a single week of racing here at Simplay Motorsport. As we are about to get underway, we're about to go green here at Nürburgring. Gingerbush, aka Dan Johns, will lead the pack away. Right now, this is where they have the opportunity to try and get their pressures and temperatures all sorted out, as we are missing two drivers. They've not made the start. That is Richie. He will start from pit lane, as will Leon Fernie. Everyone else will make the start. They will not go a lap down, luckily. They will start from pit lane, but they are not out of this one yet. So the objective of this formation lap is so the guys can get some tyre temperatures, tyre pressures, and their brake temperatures up as best they can. They can go a little bit too hard. They can damage the tyre if they do it too hard. They can also overheat the tyres or not heat them enough. And all this is just preparation for race start and obviously how the rest of the race goes on. If they flat spot their tyres at the start, if they do any damage to their car right at the beginning, it's really going to affect them in this sprint race. They really want to get through the first lap as cleanly as possible and try and earn as much points as possible. But for guys at the back, the championship leaders, they've got a lot of work to do, and they've got to make sure they stay clean and out of the way. It will be Matt trying to hunt down Goudet and Flemspeed 1. Flemspeed 1 looking very good in these conditions. Nova looking also pretty quick. But the man to keep an eye on is Thorsten, who is currently 12th in the championships. As we've got Tree21 Love in the chat saying, hello everyone. Nice to see you in the chat. As all the guys will go through the deltas. Ginger Bush will control the pace. Let's go some racing. Let's go indeed. Let's see some racing here tonight. It will be the Porsche driver who will lead the way with the Ferrari behind him. Tucker in P3. Obviously the new boys will have to start from the back of the pack. That is the rules. But once they get their points on the board, they will be able to start further up the field. So all these guys want to make sure they control everything. As Tracy Tibbs' mum, Sky. Nice to see you in the chat, Tracy. And I believe you're probably supporting this man here. Max Mulder, currently 15th in the order. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of potential in that car. He looked very good at Zolder and Donington, but kept making some silly errors and just needs to tidy them out. So Dan Johns brings everyone up to the start line and backs them up. They will all get into formation as we are about to get underway here. A few of the drivers not making the start, so the grid might be a little bit random and weird. But we should all be going 2 by 2 right now as they all head up towards the chicane, and look at all those cars. As Dan Johns will lead them around into the hairpin. And I'm going to try and use a famous quote in NASCAR as they all come through the hairpin. But we're about to get underway here at the Nürburgring. Boogity boogie boogie. Let's go racing here at Nürburgring for round 5 of the season. We are green and down towards turn 1. They already split as they go down the main straight, and it is really tight in the mid pad. But Dan John seems to have the great start. Michelle's right behind him as they all funnel down towards the hairpin, but there's all sorts of chaos. Raiden's off, and there's a pinball effect as they all go into turn one. There is cars everywhere, damaged cars, but they all somehow, Flamspeed 1 was caught up in that, and he was facing the wrong way at one point, but somehow they've all managed to get through turn one, bar one car. That is Richie has managed to get going from the start, but Matt's had a decent start, but it's still Dan who leads the way from Michelle, from Tucker, from not Dean Wasaki anymore, I think it's Playman, yes it is, and it looks like Nova's had a great start there. Is that Nova up into P5, I believe? Hopefully the split will come up so I can tell you where everyone are, but as they come down towards the first bit, it is Dan Johns leading the way as they all funnel down towards the hairpin. Has anybody else tripped over anything? As Stawson has also had a moment somewhere. Allsbrook is just ahead of Matthew Duff. Oh, it's Dean. I think that's Dean going down the inside of Allsbrook, and Allsbrook just goes wide. Is that Matt gone round? Matt's facing the wrong way, I think. Yes, he is. Matt is facing the wrong way, so your championship leader in all sorts of troubles right now. But it is Dan Johns leading the way, and there you are. Stawson has had a fantastic start. He's into P4 and already pressurising the leaders as the Ferrari and Michelle goes wide, and it just comes in front of Evans. Once all these guys kind of get into formation, I'm able to kind of commentate a little bit better, because the timing screens really don't help me. It's not Michelle that, oh yeah, Michelle did go off. He's got going again. But it's Tucker versus Stawson, and Stawson has to go straight on the chicane as they bounce their way through the chicane. There's Dean Wasaki. He's had a fairly decent start. He's in 8th as they all come up towards the chicane. Goudet down the inside. His championship contender is further down, and Flemspeed 1, even though he's got damage to the rear, has managed to get going as they all work their way through the chicane. And there goes Flemspeed. He goes down the inside, and Allsbrook just shuts the door on him. Matt at the back of the pack with Kelly Davis with major damage to the front of his car. Leon Fernie comes flying up behind. Oh, as Evans has had contact with Nova. Nova and Evans have gone around. Who's that as well? That's Michelle gone off as well. Lots of chaos going on here. Who's that just behind them? I think that is Micro J's. He's had a decent start. The pit window has opened. And right now, Johns lead the way from Tucker, from Stawson, from, I don't think it's Michelle anymore. I think it will be Max Mulder. Yes, Max Mulder up into P4. With Dean Wasaki, I think, just behind him in P5. So Dean Wasaki, keeping his nose clean to staying out of trouble, has managed to get himself up the order, as Micro J's also now working to make his way through the pack. And hopefully the Delta will update pretty quickly. There is Max Mulder. So a lot of chaos going on at the minute, and in this mid-pack there is all sorts of chaos. As Allsbrook is under massive pressure here from DJ Phil. DJ Phil coming down towards the hairpin right now. He's right on the back of the BMW driver. He's got also the new boy of the Mercedes driver of Fat Bloke just behind him. And Nova's also working his way through the order. There is Nova going side by side with his teammate. Nova goes around the outside. And how they all managed to funnel their way through the Schumacher S's, I do not know. But there's all sorts of chaos right now. Matt going through the chicane also. Meanwhile, Tucker is on the move on Johns. Johns had a moment somewhere then. And Tucker loses out. Tucker goes wide. And that's allowed Stawson up into second. So that's made Stawson's life a little bit easier. A little bit of a twitch there from him. Max Mulder slowly picking onto the back of them. But the top three pulling away. Tucker, fastest lap of the race. Dawson into second place, but Tucker wants to come back. Max Mulder there. But there is Dean Wasaki. He's under some immense pressure from Michelle and Micro J's. As they all towards the chicane they go. A hairpin, sorry. And Dean Wasaki defends the inside. Michelle goes down the inside. He runs a little bit wide. That's going to allow Dean to try and come back at him, but he can't quite get the job done. Oh, Stawson's a little bit twitchy there as Tucker looks to go on the inside. There is fights happening left, right and centre, but Michelle has got past Dean Wasaki. Everyone else pretty much. That's a lot of cars into the pits. That is quite a few drivers in the pits. I think Kelly Davis was one of them. He's already done a lap. He's already stopped and away he goes, so he's working his way through the order. He's got massive damage from earlier on. But John's still trying to defend from Stawson. Tucker not far behind. Max Mulder creeping onto the back of him. Michelle ahead of Dean Wasaki. And Micro J's just behind them as well. Flemspeed 1 says fastest lap of the race last time out, so he's got some clean air. But everyone else now kind of falling into line. Gray trying to work his way past Craig, who's having a decent start from starting at the back of the pack. He's up into 11th place with John Andrews sitting in 10th place at the minute. The only Audi driver here this evening. We go back to the lead. Johns is trying to defend as much as possible, but Stawson down, goes around the outside of the right-hand kink, and he has the inside for the chicane. Johns being a bit more cautious going into it. Stawson now leads the race in the Lamborghini ahead of the Porsche, and then Tucker. Max Mulder in 4th. Michelle coming up into 5th place. Dean Wasaki 6th. Micro J's in 7th. Playman 8th. Flem Speed 1 up into 9th and looking to make a move on the Lamborghini. He goes to the outside as the Lamborghini decides to pit, as does Micro J's. John Andrews on the move, as is the rest of the pack. And Craig is looking to make a move on Gray. Sorry, Gray's made a move on Craig. As Stawson now sets fastest lap of the race and tries to extend his gap. While the fight is going on at the minute, Leon Fernie's into the pits. Pit stop's done. Kelly Davis is a bit off the guys at the minute, with major damage to his car. He's obviously probably using it as a test session. Now, Fat Bloke versus Matthew Duffin. They head up towards the chicane. Matt's not brave enough to go around the outside. Obviously, the restrictor and ballast holding him up, but Fat Bloke makes a mistake and goes off. Nova, meanwhile, is right on the rear wing of Goudet, which Leon Fernie's gone green. He shouldn't really get affected by these guys. But where does Micro J's? He gets jumped by Goudet. So this is going to be interesting where Goudet and all come out, because Goudet comes out of the pits well ahead as Nova goes around the outside of him and gets the job done. So Nova up a place. Meanwhile, Gray has managed to find a way past Andrews. Craig is now looking to try and make a pass on Andrews. That's Kelly Davis in the middle of this pack. He is a lap down at the minute, but he is trying to hope that many people either make a mistake or drop down the order. Most of you reckon that Nova will win this race, but at the minute it is looking the way of Stawson with some decent pace out front. He's made a gap of 1.1 ahead of Johns, ahead of Tucker, and ahead of Max Mulder. Michelle currently P5, Dean Masaki P6, Flem Speed 1 7th, 8th is Gray, 9th is Andrews, with Craig right behind him. What other scraps are going on? Goudet still trying to stick to the back of Nova. Matthew Duffin onto the back of Playman, so everyone's kind of just spreading out ever so slightly, but this is your fight at the minute. Craig versus Andrews. Just behind them is Kelly Davis, using the cars in front to try and work his way up the order, but both of these two run a little bit wide. Down towards turn 1 they go. But down the inside goes Craig. He gets the job done on Andrews, pushes him wide and goes up another position there. So Evans now in P11. We've got a couple of cars in the pits. That is DJ Phil and Dean both opting to pit. But Nova is the leading pitters from Goudet, from Micro J's. Matthew Duffin's found a way past on Playman, and it's now Fat Bloke looking to make a move on Playman. Playman runs wide, and that's allowed Fat Bloke down the inside, and through he goes. His teammate just behind him in the Porsche. Meanwhile, Max Mulder has brought the gap down to Tucker. Obviously Craig making that move on Andrews. So this is where the fight is now. Max Mulder versus Tucker as they head up towards the left-hander. Also, Flem Speed 1 is caught onto Dean Wasaki. We'll come back to them in a minute as Max Mulder looks to the outside of Tucker. He can't quite get the job done there. Max Mulder to the outside this time in the McLaren 720, looking to try and make a move. Oh, a bit too much on the curb there, and that's going to affect his run towards the chicane. As Flem Speed 1 also now looking to the outside of Dean Wasaki. Tried to get the undercut, but Dean was right on the apex and he could not get the job done. Dean having a fairly decent start to this race. Probably not going to repair his damage, he's in a very good position at the minute as DJ Phil comes back out on track and he's dropped down the order ever so. Goudet's gone a little bit wide. That's going to allow Matthew Duffin to get a little bit closer to him as Matt's now cleared Playman.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
And Gray opts to pit, as does Dean Wasaki. That now releases Flem Speed 1 out in front of them. So really your fight now is really with the pit runners at the minute. Playman trying to defend from Joester. And Joester down the inside in the Porsche, gets the job done on Playman, and through he goes. Dean's trying to catch on to the back of Leon Fernie, who's having a little bit of twitchy problems with the back of his McLaren, really struggling to keep that car planted. And Leon Fernie having a decent season so far, and he's really made some mistakes. Micro J is currently ahead of Matthew Duffin and trying to chase down Fat Bloke, and Matt's had a problem somewhere, I think, because he was ahead of Fat Bloke, but he's dropped behind him now. So I think Matt's made a mistake somewhere. A few more in the pits. Dean Wasaki, Ian Gray, all these guys coming out of the pits. Dean's obviously repaired his damage, and that's affected him as all these guys come back out on track. And it is going to be Nova, I believe, the leading pitter, leading the way. Max Mulder still pressurizing Tucker at the minute, but can't seem to find a way through. Guys, please hit that like button. 30 of you are watching the stream right now. Please hit that like button. These Pro-Am boys are putting on a fantastic show. Oh, Max just has a twitch there on exit, and he loses all that time that he made on Tucker. What other fights are going on? We got this squabble right now. Ian Gray, Micro J's, and Matthew Duffin all going at it as they go down towards the second part of this circuit. And Micro Jones goes a little bit wide and onto the gravel. That's allowed Matt through. Is that going to allow the Porsche through? Possibly so. Yeah, Micro J's is all over on the grass. He can't seem to get back on track. And he manages to try and find a safe way of returning back on track. He has done so. Meanwhile, Tucker has lost the position to Max Mulder as they came into the pit. So Max has made a position, and up a place he goes. Meanwhile, Stawson still extending the gap. 5 seconds to Johns. As Michelle carries on through, Flemsby 1 carries on through, Andrews carries on, and Richie still all yet to pit. And Tucker's gone green already. Where is he going to come in comparison with Max Mulder? Where is Nova? He's only now at the chicane, so really Tucker and Max Mulder have got a great opportunity here to stay ahead of all the pit runners. Has Max jumped Tucker? Yes, he has. Where is Nova? He's now coming down the main straight as the other two come off the limiter. Nova's early pit stop has not paid off. He is still behind the two McLaren drivers, but Max Mulder now up into P3. Leon Fernie now a pressurizing playman. Also, Evans is trying to pressure Craig as Micro J's has had a moment somewhere. But Leon Fernie now, the man who's looking to pressurize the car in front. Stawson, fastest lap of the race. That's an extra point for himself. And into the braking zone of turn 1 they go. Leon Fernie, playman, goes a little bit wide. That gives Leon Fernie the opportunity to go down the inside. But he's going to be on the outside for the next corner. He's going to try and swing around, but he gets the job done. Great job there from Leon Fernie, up a position there for himself. As Micro J's on the back of DJ Phil. All these guys all just strung out a little bit. As Kelly Davis has caught a car. He has caught John Andrews, who is, I believe, still yet to pit. Yeah, he is. So Kelly's still struggling to clear some cars. Max Mulder's got Richie in front of him. As Johns now, Dan Johns into the pits, as is Michelle. But the two FSO Racing boys sticking to their strategy. They're going long. Both looking, looks like only Flemspeed with damage. Andrews and Richie still yet. Richie's in the wall and he's rolled back on track. Hope nobody hits him, but he's managed to get going. There's no one near him really, so Goudet was the next closest. But Michelle into the pits, John's into the pits. John's changing possibly tyres here, and this is going to really hurt him because this is the first time he's raced with us now, and there's no tyre change anymore. It's literally just a stop and go, and this is going to drop him down the order. But Max Mulder, Tucker, Nova not really close to these guys at the minute. Matthew Duffin still trying to recover. He's on the back of... he's not on the back of anyone. Matt struggling here. Oh, it's just behind us. Ian Gray right on the rear. I think it was Playman. No, Ian Gray's dropped down the order big time. He is behind Kelly Davis. So Ian's had a big moment somewhere. He's behind the Porsche driver of Joester, who's ahead of Matt. Richie's now finally come out of the pits. Andrews is now in the pits. But Johns comes back out on track. And where's that put him? He's lost out to Max Mulder, Nova, Goudet, and Fat Bloke. And that is obviously where He hasn't been here for a while and forgets that the tyre rule doesn't exist anymore, so you can just not put tyres on. And that has hurt him big time. Tucker's still sticking to Max Mulder at the minute. We're coming to the end of this race, and in comes Stawson. He's into the pits. Will his teammate follow suit? That is the question. They've got clean air at the minute, and this is helping them out. Meanwhile, here's a scrap playman. Dean and Craig all battling it out for 15th, 16th and 17th place position. Every point counts with this massive grid of cars. 27 cars on track. As Dean now looking to try and pressurise playman as much as possible. Richie with major damage. And Flem Speed 1 and Stawson have both come into the pits. There's a car wide there. That was the Porsche driver. And that is Joester. He's lost out big time here. And he's behind playman. Oh, there's cars everywhere. Craig, Dean, Joester and playman all run wide. And Dean's struggling to find a way through on any of them, and Craig is right behind them all. Meanwhile, Micro J's is still on the back of DJ Phil. And with only a couple minutes left of this session, is playman going to be under some pressure here from Joester? Great racing here. Meanwhile, Michelle. Flem Speed 1 comes out of the pits. It's Max Mulder from Tucker, from Nova, from Michelle, from Flem Speed 1. But Stawson with a fantastic drive, a clean car, no damage, has got away with it so far. Joester has worked his way back off playman. Meanwhile, Craig is attacking Dean into turn 1. And he's going to get... Oh, he nearly hits the back of playman as Dean gets the undercut, but he's going to be on the wrong side for the left-hander. And he runs wide there, does Dean, but that is Craig through. Great positions there for Craig.
The window is now closed.
Everyone has now served their pit stop. Everyone has done their stop. Meanwhile, where are your championship contenders in all of this at the minute? Matthew Duffin currently sitting in 10th. He's scoring decent points. His rival Goudet currently in 7th. But it is Max Mulder and Flem Speed 1 looking like they're going to score some big points here tonight. Meanwhile, Flem Speed 1 is still trying to find a way past on the Ferrari, but can't seem to find a way through at the minute. Fat Bloke giving Goudet, the Mercedes duo going at it. And we still got this scrap as well. Micro J's, has he found a way through on DJ Phil? No, not quite. But Flem Speed's had a great run through here. He's onto the back of the Ferrari driver, heading up towards the chicane on the outside, Ferrari inside. But Michelle keeps the position strong there and holds onto position. Still no opening for him, as meanwhile Nova has caught onto the back of Tucker. So can Nova find a way through on Tucker? Down the inside he goes, and he gets the job done. Up another position there for himself. And where is Tucker? He's not able to capitalise, but there is a back marker in the way of Kelly Davis. He needs to get out of the way as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Stawson is going to finish his lap here as Fat Bloke bounces over the curb and can't find a way past on Goudet. Dean's dropped off the pace of these guys now. He's going into the clutches of Evans, as down goes the inside, goes Craig. Slowly working his way, but turn 1 seems to be where he's making his moves, and he's made another one. Up another place goes Craig. Great move from him. Stawson though into the middle sector he goes. He's got a couple of lap traffic to get through. Micro J still stuck behind DJ Phil. We cannot find a way through at this stage. And Craig now looking to try and catch Joester if he can. As Michelle has lost out to Flem Speed 1. But what a drive from this man. Stawson in the middle of the pack pretty much has worked his way through the order, and I think this is going to be the end of the race. 9 laps here. Stawson up towards the final corner. Home circuit, home race at FSO Racing Team. Get a win on the board. Stawson's debut win in the Lamborghini. He wins here at the Nürburgring in the sprint. Congratulations to him. with quite a healthy gap as well, ahead of Max Mulder, who's going to hang in there for a P2 as well. He's had a fantastic race here, avoiding the chaos, avoiding the trouble. Max Mulder into the final corner, comes towards the line. He will finish second in the sprint. A great job there from Max. Decent points from him. Nova will finish in third. Then it's going to be Tucker in fourth. Fifth is going to be Flem Speed 1 with a wounded Porsche. Michelle is going to come home for sixth. Goudet is just going to hang in there, I think, for P7. As him and Fat Bloke come across line for P7 and A. Johns will finish in P9. Matthew Duffin will finish 10th place. Leon Fernie coming home now in 11th place position. With Joester just... Oh, he's had a moment. That's allowing Craig through to come in 13th place position. Dean 14th. Evans 15th. Micro Jace isn't quite going to get Joester. I don't think. No. So Joester will just hang in there. He'll cross the line in 15th place position ahead of Micro Jace. Playman in 17th. DJ Phil in 18th. Dean Wasaki 19th. MB Pitts in 20th. John Andrews is going to come home in 21st position. Nikita will finish in 22nd. Raiden in 23rd. Allsbrook finished 24th. Kelly Davis in 25th. Richie in 26th. And Gray finishing 27th overall. But it is a debut win for Stawson. He has won the sprint race, and also he takes fastest lap of the race as well. Congratulations to him. Your top three: Lamborghini, McLaren, Stawson, Max Mulder, Nova, and that is your top three. And we'll be back in a few moments' time as we will get a practice session underway for these guys, and we will return for a qualifying and the feature. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a bit. Whew.
We're clear.
Yeah.
Why can't I see off these fucking guys' names?
What happened to you?
You what, sorry?
What happened to you? You spin it or
the
got tapped?
Side got tapped by Dean, other Dean. Leon. Where's Leon 11th? Flem. Storenson seemed to absolutely dominate that.
Yeah, Stawson gone. But he did clear most of the traffic. He was gone. But he didn't get involved in any of the accidents. So it's not purely pace. It's... Well, it was once he obviously got through the chaos. But yeah. Whew.
Where is Amish?
I mean, to be fair, mate.
Yeah.
We've had 3 different winners in Pro-Am.
Yeah.
So...
Finesse isn't here tonight. No, he's just one we need to keep our eyes on because of...
Has he got a restrictor?
Yeah, he's 20%, 20 kilos ballast. So he's not as heavy as Flem. And then and Flem's not got the restrictor. So I'm the one who's restricted. Them two are just ballast.
Right, so he's got 20 kilos worth.
He's got 20
ballast.
kilos, yeah. Storenson first and fastest lap. This is what I'm saying. He's one that you need to we need to watch to see how dominant he is. 27th. We are missing someone, aren't we? I reckon that's Peterson.
I mean, Ginger Bush arguably should be in Pro as well, but he can only do Wednesdays. So there's a lot of drivers that should be in Pro.
No, he qualified in Proam.
Oh, Nova should probably be in there.
He qualified Pro-Am as well, yeah.
Green light. Go,
A lot of drivers that should be in there, like yourself as well. You know, arguably Hypertech really should be in there. Flem Speed 1 should be in there. But
Flem can't do a Thursday, that's why he's running the restricted. See, this was my argument with Mike earlier. He said about a guy coming in as a reserve for Prime to can only do Wednesdays. Right? His pace was low 45s, high 44s. I went, he's got to run ballast. He's like, can't be able to keep adding ballast each week to a reserve driver. Like, well, then he doesn't fucking race. You're going to get reserve drivers complain. You're going to get Prime drivers complain.
he just can't do a Thursday. Tough shit. Right, I'm going to go get a coffee.
Yeah, man. I probably might not be here when you're back then.
Alright, no worries.
That's a Micro J 16th PN Motorsport. Where's 23rd? Ginger Bush 9th. MB Pitts. MB fucking Pitts 20th. B Craig 12th. GT Jimbo is not here. He is not here. L Juiced. It's just Jay Winter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27. Yeah, so 27, yeah, so.
Green light. Give it all you got.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the stream. We're about to get things underway for the qualifying session right now, as Stawson was your sprint winner in that race round, and Max Mulder coming home for a P2 with Nova in P3 in that one. So massive congratulations to the top three there. But we have got a qualifying session underway now. We've got 15 minutes to go for the qualifying session. And sadly, I ain't got no one in the comms box with me for this one. So we'll see if we can get some of the guys later on in the feature, after the feature race, to see if they'll come on and have a chat with us. But nonetheless, that was race one, the sprint done, out the way. Now we go into a 15-minute qualifying session. Matt is the first one out on track, and we shall see what the boys can do in these conditions. It is back to the night time again, as the track is set to optimum. We should see some decent lap times from these boys. Regarding the championship, it is still Matthew Duffin leading the way with 233 points to his name. He's got a 38 gap to Goudet, who's brought that gap down in second place. Flem Speed 1 has caught up to the group of them as well. Ahead of him, he's in P3, with Nova now in P4. P5 is Max Mulder, with Stawson with a race win to his name, has jumped his way all the way up to P6. DJ Phil in P7, with Kelly Davis in P8. Leon Fernie in P9, with Dean now up into P10. Micro J's into the 100 points mark now, with 11th place to his name. Gray only a couple points off again into 100. He's in 12th. Raiden currently in 13th, with Tucker in 14th place position. Meanwhile, Nikita in 15th place position. Andrews now up into 16th. Evans in 17th. 18th is Playing Man. Michelle wins 19th. Allsbrook at 20th. Dean Wasocki 21st. Cranky Duckhead in 22nd. With Winter in 23rd, Peterson 24th, Fat Bloke in 25th, Richie 26th, 27th is Dan Johns, Finesse 28th, Craig in 29th, Joester in 30th, MB Pitts in 31st, Ducky Warfare and ZZI and GT Jimbo still yet to score any points. Regarding the teams, it is FSO Racing now leading the way, 334 points to their names. They now have a gap of 29 points ahead of Greasy Bandits Racing in P2. They've only got a small points gap over Jaeger Motorsport, with Team Audio Sport Remix in that P4 position. Bullets Bandits in P5, with Iceni Motorsport in P6, BTC Racing Jaeger in P7, with Team Richie Corsa in PA, Red Dragon Racing down in 9th place position. Regarding the manufacturers, though, they've not been done correctly, so I'm just going to quickly adjust them. But it is still McLaren, though, leading the way. As yeah, it's McLaren leading the way ahead of BMW in second, Ferrari in third, Lamborghini in fourth. Fifth is Porsche, sixth is Mercedes-Benz, seventh is Aston Martin, eighth is Bentley, ninth is Audi, and 10th is Honda. Still, Lexus, Jaguar, Nissan, and Retia to score a point here. Max Mulder with the beer in the chat. He's obviously happy with his race one, and a congratulations to him. Guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified as Matt now comes into the final corner to complete his flying lap. He is going to be the first one to set the benchmark, and the lap time is going to be a 57.0. Some of the boys already in the 56s earlier on. We will see what these guys can do, as a couple of guys now coming towards the line. I will try my very best to go on board with the correct ones. It is Nova, though, who sets the pace of a 55.5. Joester goes into P3. Fat Bloke now into P4. Tucker, P5. As the times are coming in thick and fast. Flem Speed 1 in P3. With Tucker still in that P7. MB Pitts goes into 8th place. Craig goes into 6th. So the qualifying session is thick and fast now. Allsbrook goes down to 10th. Raiden 9th. As the lap times are coming in, Andrews now coming towards the line. What is he going to produce? He's going to go 10th place position. Michelle coming to the line as well. He has not been able to put a lap time on the board. That was a Mercedes going down into turn 1, and that was no lap time from anyone. So Nikita still on a lap. Kelly Davis still on a lap. We've got a few cars coming to the line now. We got Ginger Bush, Dan Andrews. He goes into P12. So good lap time from him there. As Ian Gray, he's in 20th place at the minute. And good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone in the chat. Nice to see you all. Please hit that like button. Peaceful Stepdad and Volta Racing. I guess I got that right. Guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to be on pole position at the minute. It is Nova setting the pace. Some of the guys now coming to produce a lap time. I think that is Richie to the line. He is on a valid lap. He goes 16th. It's all about getting the lap time on the board. And Kelly Davis is the next one on a valid lap. 26 of you currently watching the stream, please hit that like button. Let's get the stream up to 26 likes at the minute. 26 of you are watching, so we can get it there. As Kelly Davis is going to set the pace into the hairpin. He comes. Ian, just come out of the session and come back in again. Try that. See if that will work. As Kelly Davis, he goes 9th place position. So a decent lap time from him there. As they're all starting to come thick and fast with lap times. That's the I think there's a 333 coming to the line. That is Craig. To the line he comes. Any improvement? He goes into P4. As Flem Speed 1's in P2. So it's still Nova, though, setting the pace. There's so many numbers for me to remember. Oh, and a damage to the bottom of that car as the BMW of Allsbrook crosses the line. No improvement. There's a whole stack of cars coming towards the line now. And I'm not sure if any of them... Where is Stawson? He's not put a lap time. He's waiting to go out. But here comes Goudet. He was one of them who was in that bunch. And he sets a lap time. And it puts him P3. So good lap time there from John. Putting in P3. Evans managed to put a lap time. He's now 7th. The number 18. That is Playman. What is he going to produce? He goes up into 13th place position. So people starting to find improvements here. As the 888 of Nikita coming to the line. In the BMW, a lot of BMWs this season. Nice to see that. Obviously, going to the PS5, we've now obviously got the M4, the Lamborghini Evo 2, the Porsche 992. We've got the Ferrari 296. And Nikita goes into 8th place position. Ian Gray, has he I think he might have to just restart his game and get back in. The sooner he does it, the better. Leon Fernie into the final corner. There's a car stopped. That is Richie. Richie needs to get that car moving, and that's really affected Leon Fernie's run there, and that is only going to, he ain't going to put a lap time on. Look to the 22. That is next to come to the line. That is Kelly Davis. Where is he at the minute? He's 15th place position. It's a valid lap. To the line he comes, and it puts him 13th. He goes ahead. A few of the guys around him that he needs to start outscoring, like Dean Wasocki, for one, is one he needs to start catching. Tucker is into the hairpin. Oh, Tucker has a twitch there. As I think a couple of the guys improving just ahead. But Tucker towards the line now. What lap time is he going to produce? Any improvement? No, he stays where he is. We've got the 57 currently on a lap time. That is John Andrews in the Audi. What is the Audi driver able to do? As we will get to the halfway of qualifying session, and I will end the poll. And most of you reckon Nova is going to stick it on pole position. No one going for Stawson, because Max Mulder and Stawson, I just remembered, have got qualifying bans. I just remembered that. Got qualifying bans after. So qualifying ban for Max Mulder and Stawson and Cranky Duckhead, because they didn't finish the race earlier on. So Stawson's got a lot of work to do. So it's Nova who's looking quickest at the minute. Craig towards the line. No, he's in the pits. That was DJ Phil. As they're all into the pit lanes, probably getting themselves some fresh new tyres. Leon Fernie. Let's go Hypertech, a.k.a. John Goudet. And John's got his supporters in the chat. Leon Fernie next to come up to the chicane. He's still not got a lap time on the board. This is valid. So up towards the hairpin he comes. He's going to put in a decent lap time here. Towards the line now, and Leon Fernie goes into 13th place position. Who is then next to come to the line? Again, it is something ending in 7. I know that. The 97 or Joester. Towards the line he comes. Kelly invalidated his lap time. Does Joester improve? No, he does not. So he stays where he is. No one on a valid lap in the middle sector in a minute, bar the 23 of Tucker, who his new teammate is currently P4 at the minute. Can Tucker produce a decent lap time here? Towards the line he comes. No improvement, he stays P12. So some of these guys literally starting to struggle to find that couple of tenths that they need to get themselves further up the grid. Allsbrook towards the line, 22nd at the minute, stays 22nd. Ian Gray still not able to put a lap time together. Is the game just not allowing him to put a lap time together at all? As DJ Phil now coming up towards the chicane, and at the minute struggling. He's being out qualified by his teammate, and he messes up the chicane, and that is going to invalidate his lap time. That's the 2:17 of Liam Fernie is the next car to set a lap time. He's run a little bit wide, a bit of an understeer going into that left-hander, sorry, as he has traffic of the Ferrari as well. As Leon Fernie now down towards the chicane. We've got a car off in the middle sector as well, so Leon Fernie about to produce a lap time. As Flem Speed 1 gets within a tenth of Nova now. So he's getting closer and closer, but it's Leon Fernie next to the line. 2.3 off the pace at the minute. He goes up into 8th and jumps ahead of Matthew Duffin. Where is Kelly Davis? There he is. 2.8 off the pace at the minute. This is a valid lap. He just needs to get the hairpin right out the final corner, get good trash, a good run to the line. It sounds good. It looks promising towards the line. Any improvement? He finds 2 tenths, but doesn't get him anywhere. He stays where he is. He will get another lap in on the board, probably 2 more. Richie doesn't improve. The 666 of Ian Gray does finally get a lap time on the board, and he goes 14th. So the game is registering his lap times. Stawson now towards the middle sector. Here he goes. I thought that was the 720 of MB Pitts in Aston Martin. And we've got the 55 of Matthew Duffin currently to the line. He finds a couple of turns. It goes ahead of Leon Fernie, but he's still in that danger zone with lots of cars around him. And I believe that is the 53 of DJ Phil coming up towards the chicane. Quite a bit off the pace to his teammate at the minute. 20th overall. Kelly sitting in 16th. And DJ Phil needs to find some lap time here. He will get another lap. And Kelly in a lovely position all on his own, no one around. And DJ Phil does improve and goes ahead of his teammate, and is what he needed. He goes into 15th place position. Who's then next to set a lap time? Wolfinator. Nice to see Wolfinator in the chat. Good evening to you, buddy. Nice to see you in the chat here tonight. We do miss you on the grid, and hopefully we should see you back at some point. And Leon Fernie up into the hairpin. Is this going to be an improvement for him? He struggles with traction as he comes around the corner. Towards the line he comes. Leon Fernie, any improvement? Yes, he puts himself into 5th place. Also, I believe Michelle improved as well. He goes P6 as the 22 of Kelly Davis now up towards the chicane. He will get one more lap in. Ian Gray also on a lap time. Only a half a second separating the top to get into the top 12, and there goes Kelly. He gets himself into the top 12 and drops the rest of them behind him. Then it's Ian Gray coming to the line, 15th place position at the minute. Any improvement? He goes 13th. He's finding the time. Some of these guys are now putting the laps together. Fat bloke, he goes in the 7th. So lap times are improvement. 88, that is Nova. Can he extend his gap over Flem Speed 1? Guys, 30 if you're watching the stream, guys, hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel as well. Helps us massively here at the channel. And Nova does improve. He does a 55.2. Even some of the pro boys will be looking at that thinking, oh god, can I get near that lap time? As Nova, I think, is done for the session. The 71, that was Allsbrook. He crosses the line and no improvement from him. Now 53, DJ Phil through the chicane he comes. And Kelly Davis has outdone him there. He's found a little bit more time again. So can DJ Phil beat his teammate? But towards the line, DJ Phil does improve, but no improvement on his position. So he stays where he is. We've got the 888 of Nikita coming to the line. Car going into the pit lane. Kelly's done as well, I think. I know Kelly's still on a lap time, I think. Nikita to the line. And stays in. He does improve a little bit. Kelly's returned back to the pits. It is Evans towards the line now. Yeah, hopefully so. Wolfnate, it'll be nice to see you back, and let me deal with your work. I'll tell you it's important stuff that you're racing with us. As Evans comes towards the line, he goes 6th, so he's finding some time in his Mercedes. As all the lap times are starting to tumble down from some of these guys. Ian Gray, another one on a lap time at the minute. Oh, bouncing over the curve, sparks flying up and everything. And he comes up towards the hairpin. He goes very wide, makes the mistake, and that is him done. And it's just Fat Bloke to go, and he's out on the marbles himself. Is he going to improve on 8th place position? I don't think he is. No, he does not. He stays where he is. I think that's the 32. No. Who is that out on track? It's not Kelly. There it was, the 32. Dean Wasaki, 17th place at the minute. 31 guys watching. Please hit that like button. As Dean Wasaki into the hairpin he goes. Any improvement from him as he comes towards the line? Can he get himself ahead of DJ Phil? He does not. He stays where he is. So it's Nova on pole position from Flem Speed 1, Goudet in 3rd, Craig in P4, Duff in P5, Leon Fernie P6, Evans P7, Michelle P8, P9 is Fat Bloke, Dan Johns in P10, Joe Sturt in P11, Nikita 12th, Kelly Davis in 13th, Ian Gray 14th, Tucker in 15th, DJ Phil 16th, Dean Wasaki 17th, Playman will start in 18th place position, Dean in 19th, MB Pitts in 20th, Raid in 21st, Richie 22nd, Micro J 23rd, John Andrews 24th, Allsbrook 25th, Stawson and Max Mulder with a qualifying ban starts at the back of the pack. Feature race now, and the pit window will open about halfway through this race. They will have only a few minutes left of the pit window to get in and serve a pit stop. They do not have to change tyres, they don't need to add fuel, they just need to come in, stop in their box, and off they go again. If it's just a second, it is just a second. They do have to remember, though, the tyres will start to suffer towards the end of the race. Nova starting on pole position. That is an extra point to his name after taking pole away from everybody else. Also, fastest lap will go to anyone there, and whoever gets the fastest lap will get a point for that. And obviously, this is depending on where everyone finishes on the grid. This is going to be a fascinating race too, the feature race, as everyone starts to get themselves ready to go. As I will now start a poll up for winner for the feature. Only a 45-minute race, so the guys at the back of the pack still have a lot of work to do. But here at the Nürburgring, it is Porsche versus McLaren of Flem Speed 1 and Nova. Flem Speed 1 still yet to get a win here. Nova has already got a win. Can Max Mulder do anything from the back, or Stawson? Got to hope that they stay out of trouble, and that Truppel finds other drivers as well to get themselves back into the points. There's a poll out for who you think is going to win this one. Hit the button. Everyone says Tracy, let's go racing. Says Tracy, let's go Max. Boogity, boogity, boogie. Let's go racing here at the Nürburgring for the feature race. Reminder as well, guys, if you haven't done so, then scroll down into the description. There are our fantastic sponsors, Bozzy Designs, Design Manchester, and Audio Sport. Audio Sport, manufacturers of VW Transporter T4 audio solutions and styling products for T5s, T4s, and T6s. Head over to www.audiosport.co.uk, and they've got Facebook as well. Bozzy Designs, producers of all graphics you need on your overlays, logos, streams, anything you want. Head over to www.bozzydesigns.com and see what they have to offer. And finally, Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts and mugs and printed clothing and much, much more, including Simply merchandise. Head over to their Facebook page, which is in the link below as well. If you haven't done so, then please follow us on Twitter, give us a like on that. If you want to be a part of the action here at Simply Motorsport, it is getting full pretty quickly. The sim grid is filling up very, very fast. Then head over and be a part of the Discord chat and get involved with everything that's going on. And also, please follow our social media. We are live most of the time on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all those wonderful things. Please head over to them as well. As you see, Steve Thompson in the chat, D Johns for the win. So yeah, if you think somebody else is going to win this race, then like as Steve Thompson's done there, please put your vote in a tap so that I can add it to the list. So majority reckon of you will think that Flem Speed 1 will get his debut in. Only 3 votes at the minute, so come on guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to win this one. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you tune in tomorrow night as the pros will tackle Nürburgring. As the first couple of laps here have been a bit chaotic for the Proams, a bit better than Zolder, but we will see how the feature race goes. It is Nova versus Flem Speed 1, McLaren versus Porsche. Now, a lot of these guys will be thinking about, obviously, next season. They'll be thinking about possibly being promoted up in the pro. So the top 3, maybe we'll do top 5, will be promoted into the pro category. And the bottom will head down as well. But it is all about Nürburgring. Make sure you tune in next week as well as we head to an Italian circuit. We head to Imola for the next race of the season. And what does Imola have ahead of us? Is there going to be rain? Is it going to be dry? I know for a fact that it is in midday, so it is going to be a afternoon race, as it usually is. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I believe, will be the times of the sessions. But it is Nova on the front row. It is Flem Speed 1 in second. Boogity boogity. Let's go racing here at Nürburgring. As you head down towards turn 1, and already a car off in the background. That is Storson in the gravel as they head down towards turn 1. And Flem Speed 1's had a lightning start. Is he going to try and go right round the outside of the hairpin? Cars off on the hairpin. Oh, as Nova has sent it into turn 1 and got it stopped as everyone else funneled their way through turn 1. And pretty much everyone through turn 1. A few cars off in the second corner, but we're all relatively clean through except for, who is that at the back? That is the 22, I think, of Kelly Davis. Is it? I think so. No, Kelly's in the pack, so I think it's the 32 maybe of Dean Wasaki. Yes, it is, and a few others at the back of the pack as well. Had a horrid start, but it is Nova leading away from Flem Speed, from Goudet, from now Leon Fernie, who's gained a few places there. He's now ahead of Craig and Matthew Duffin, so he's had a decent start. Evans is in the same position there in P. It's now the times update for me. I won't know what's going on, as I would just leave it for a minute, but relatively clean through the first couple of corners. And if Proam are clean, God knows what Pro is going to be like. As there's a big queue behind Goudet. He's got a lot of traffic behind him. Look at all these guys trying to find a way through, and Leon Fernie is the first to have a go as Flem Speed 1 and Nova have just disappeared up into the distance. Evans and Dan are going at it in the background, but Goudet still trying to defend from Leon Fernie behind him. But look at those trainer cars right behind the leaders. And Goudet is the cork in the bottle as Leon Fernie's going to think about sending it into the chicane. He thinks about it. Oh, he gets really close to the back, and Leon Fernie's made a mistake. He's run wide. That's going to allow Craig to come down the inside in the other McLaren, and he's going to push him wide. Is Matt going to be an opportunistic there? And he is. And Leon Fernie goes off. Leon Fernie's off and into the wall. Major damage to his car, and Leon Fernie drops to the back of the pack. A relatively decent start for most of the cars. Kelly Davis is going side by side with Max Mulder as they go down towards turn 1, and I think Max has got the job done. Yes, he has. Oh, Max and Kelly have come together. Max Mulder's gone round. He hasn't hit the wall, luckily. He has got probably a little bit of damage to the side of his car, but Kelly, as a fat bloke, does fastest lap of the race. But Nova's lost the lead. It is Flem Speed 1 leading the way ahead of the McLaren driver, the Porsche leading the way. As Nova is now in second. Can he do anything about that? Goudet sitting in third as Craig is now got Matthew Duffin right behind him with Michelle, Evans, Johns, Nikita, Fat Bloke and Storson all right behind this group, as is Kelly Davis. He is just in this scrap. Who's just ahead of him? That's Joseph also just behind them as well. And all these guys are just stuck behind the back of Craig, who was all behind Goudet. And Goudet's now started to pull away. But it's the top two of Flem Speed 1 and Nova very close to one another, and they're starting to pull away from Goudet. But Matt, even with the ballast on and restrictor, he's right on the back of Craig. As Michelle up towards the chicane, John still looking for a way through. And Storson has caught up with these guys, and Storson was back of the pack. He was last and in the gravel in the final corner, and he's up into 11th place. He's cleared half of the pack already. There is another squabble between Dean, Micro J's, Playman, and I believe that is Raider, Wasaki, and MB Pitts, all in that group. Tucker's had a horrid start. Hazards, Allsbrook, and Gray, and DJ Phil didn't get going. Richie is into the pits. But Flem Speed 1 and Nova going side by side. Nova tucks back underneath and tries to get a toe on Flem Speed 1 as they head towards turn 1. Flem Speed to the outside, Nova to the inside. Nova tries to break and get the corner turned in, and Flem tries to undercut